Bashers. Hey everybody, how are you? My name is Dirk, and I can be reached at basharddirk@gmail.com. Who is in the room? Andrew Wolkowicz starts out, as always. The guy is always one of the first people in the room, even though he sometimes has to work, and he does the... Thank you so much for that, Andrew. Aldo Benedetti is another one. Thank you so much. Have to catch the replay later tonight. Hopefully there will be a Sunday show. There definitely will be a Sunday show. I am planning on it unless something goes horribly awry, which I hope it does not. But super chat. Thank you so much for that. We have our new fun things that we're doing with the channel, some new graphics and things to play with that are very fun. But thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Al Benedetti, $4.99. We've got Angelo in the room. We've got Carolyn Martin is here. Evening, I have a big announcement once everyone comes over from Machine's channel. What is that? She's got a big announcement. Carolyn Martin. Stephen S. is in the room. And Nick Sisto. Hey, Nick, did you get your hot sauces yet? I didn't track it. I probably should have done that, but I didn't do it. I've been a little out of sorts today because the lady wasn't feeling so well this morning, and I don't know what it was, but she went to the doctor and she had she needed some fluids, which we know because I bought a bunch, and I don't want to do it, so I have to bring her up there. She just gets like a 30 mils of electrolytes, and that's just kind of like the way we're doing it. But we went in there, we found that she had a little bit of a fever, so I went out and I got this newfangled fancy brown thermometer, which she wouldn't let me use on her, but she's on the couch right now. She just had some food, and it's just been a lot of stress. And Nick says he didn't get it yet. Boo, hiss, boo. And I sent it via the United Parcel Service, UPS, which I thought was going to be like bing, bang, boom. You'd get it right away. Wallace 9 is here hoping for a happy day to Carolyn Martin and all the women watching on International Women's Day. That's right. It is International Women's Day. And let's all celebrate all the beautiful, lovely ladies, mothers, sisters, wives, and friends that we have that are of the female persuasion. Let's celebrate the female persuasion. I think, not to sound too political here, but I think that the gender roles have just taken such a hit lately that people can't be proud of who they are and what they are because everyone's co-opting and appropriating their pronouns. And I just think that it's great to be who you are. It really is. It's great to assert who you are as an individual, but I think we've gone awry with that kind of crap. So, that's how I feel about it. Andrew says, hey, Andrew's in the room tonight. You're actually here live. Try a laser thermometer. I got this one. It's a brown. That's how you say it, right? It's brawn. That's the one that they used in the vets, and they thought it was wrong because she doesn't sound like, but she was sleeping in front of my I have one of those big Breville toaster ovens, the big, it's called the Smart Compact Oven, actually the Smart Oven because it's the big one, and she likes to sit on the box there, and it was very, very hot. So he's so early tonight. Wow.
Yeah, I did the female watch channels, and then I came to an end there.
Wow.
It was too late to start a story time.
Oh, was it?
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, because I hit over 2 hours, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to start a story time now. It'll be 40 minutes, the way I ramble on. So
ramble on. Time is now. Sing my song.
I'm so bummed. I'm so bummed, though, man. I'm so bummed.
Why are you bummed?
Because I was playing all the channels, and I thought the audio was coming through, and the audio was never coming through for anyone.
Even if you were sharing it, like the way
I was sharing it, but I shared it through a window and not through a tab. Because I like to have all the channels open in different tabs and go through them.
Oh,
but
sure.
You can't do that.
I tuned in while I was tuning up my system for tonight. I looked because I had a lot of shit to do this afternoon, so I didn't get a chance to really watch the show. But I saw that you were on Windows and that you had 100 tabs open. I was like, well, he's got tabs open. I actually got to fix this. I think my secondary. Did I crap out? I think my secondary monitor is acting stupid.
No, I'm just so annoyed because I'm just like, fuck. I mean, it worked fine for channels that, like, I was showing Old Watch Lady, of course, I have to show her, and I'm just talking because I'm just showing video and so on. But then on some of the channels I actually play, like Chris Negroni, you know his channel. He had his wife model the Tiffany watch, and she was narrating and everything, and I was like, oh my god, this is gorgeous and beautiful photography and everything. And there I was playing and thinking that people could hear it, and they couldn't. Oh well.
Sorry, I'm just goofing around because all of a sudden my secondary monitor just kept shutting off, and I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to switch ports.
Okay, man.
See if that fixes it.
Do what you got to do.
So weird. I was just sitting here doing nothing, and it just did that. Like, today is a day of a lot of things going awry.
That's it. Yeah. I should have thought of that. Now that I think of it, I see the problem is, though, if I share a tab over, I got to share a tab over for everyone. Like, I got to keep doing it over and over and over again. Oh my god, it's so annoying. All right.
Yeah, that's like the way I've been. Like, so last night, now with the new graphics that you made for my show, I was so psyched. I had 2 windows open. I just had the window open for that, but then I was getting 2 microphone feeds, even though I muted one of the microphones on one, like on the secondary screen. I muted it because it looks like it's another person because it shows up as a secondary window, and I'm still getting the slop back.
Oh shit!
And it was really annoying.
Yeah, it's happened to me as well.
Daniel Gutierrez, hold on, let's get that $2 super chat in. I've got it down to a science, though. Even though I'm doing it on one channel. But here they come, and let's let it go. It's Angelo Minichello, Canadian $10. Hey, Dirk, and all evening from rural Ontario. And when I think of the word rural, I always think of, I know I use this
the rural juror.
Oh, yeah. See, you know it. Oh, that's great.
The rural juror.
Do you remember what the sequel to the rural juror was?
No.
Urban Fervor. Jenna Mulroney's big movie.
Rural juror and Urban Fervor.
And Urban Fervor.
The most English sounding sounds. I remember asking years ago, Lydia's mom, 25 years ago or more, how does English sound to you guys from a distance? French sounds like, what the fuck, and I impersonated various different, and I was like, how does English sound to you guys? And they all went, rah, 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 rah.
Right. Do you remember those Peanuts movies where Charlie Brown would go into the classroom and the teacher would speak and it would be like,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And we got Nick Sisto. Thank you, Nick Sisto, with the super chat. That, of course, being the bell, and then we've got the huge super chat, which is the gong, and then the mega super chat, which is a nuclear explosion.
Well, Carla Martin just gave you a second tier one right now. So
I didn't see it until just Carolyn Martin. To show Oisin we still love him despite the sound concern, and for Dirk stressing over Laverne, man, you have no idea. My blood pressure is probably through the roof.
She's matching super
chats. Oh, you crazy lady! You know what I'm gonna do for that? I'm gonna do this. Because she's matching the super chats. Thank you so much, Carolyn Martin. What a legendary lady you are.
By the way, if you want to stop the little thing,
you can. Yeah.
Midway, I do. You can just click on it.
Yeah, I do.
Just so you know.
It would be great if I could keep that window open. It worked great before I went into the studio. I was testing. I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect. Great. Amazing. And then it didn't. Yeah. Then it was like, it wasn't.
Carlin says, let the games begin. Look at that. And
let the games
begin already. Alarm
Oh, Shane
clock
McGurk.
set.
Oh my God, here we go.
So when
Thank
do
you
you
so
use
much.
the second gong? Is that like $20,
Well,
$25 and
20,
up?
20 up, 20 and up. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
I think
okay.
that's about
Good
right.
to
Don't
know.
you think? Well, I mean,
If
yeah,
anybody
20
wants
and
to
up.
see the second gong, give Dirk a $20, $25 one so you can see the second gong.
It's
Because
the
that
gong.
one was harder for me to make.
What's it?
Yeah, because the guy swings a second time. So
Oh,
I had to
shit.
and when he swings the second time, like the name of some production company comes in on the gong. So I had to remove the audio and slide it over and do a little work on that. So that one took me a little longer.
I mean, they were pretty. I was amazed when I came in here and I saw them. I was like, oh, these look amazing. Absolutely great. So yeah, so I've been running around like a maniac all day and my hair looked terrible. So I threw a hat on. I was like, I can't do it. I need a
Oh yeah.
haircut really bad. I was gonna wear this, but my hair's too poofy. I've got too much, like I've got too much. It's like one of those. I love this, the Hassler in Roma. I've never stayed there. That's like the fanciest hotel in all of Rome. Maybe one of the most fancy hotels in all of
The
Italy.
Hassler, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
crazy town. My friends Kate and Carl stay there every year, and they invited us one year, and I was like, I felt so guilty. I was like, because that place is so ludicrously expensive. They're like, you just get yourself over there, and we'll take care of everything. We'll get your room at the Hassler. You can't even get a room at the Hassler. So you can't even. They know them for like 40 years.
Do you have to get on a list? Is it like Rolex? You have to get on a list.
It's worse than Rolex because it's been going on since the 50s. People get on.
Oh God.
You have to. It's like owning a table at Rayo's or something stupid like that. Daniel Gutierrez, he's in this. Thank you, and we'll just keep doing that all night. And we haven't done the gong yet.
I want to see the gong. Somebody give him $20.
I think the regular one it should be like 0 to 199 to 1999.
Right. Yeah,
and
makes
then
sense.
$20 to like 40 bucks.
I have to admit, I don't know if you saw, but I stole I was using your gongs tonight a little bit.
Why not? It's our gong. Bashers is our world.
It's our gong.
It's our gong.
I was just fucking around with it, but it was fun for a second because I got some mega fucking super chats, and I was like, okay, I got to use these things now.
Yeah, you might as well put the nuclear explosion. Did you use the nuclear explosion?
I did because there was Ali and there was Carolyn and there was Watch Lady.
Oh wow!
Came in pretty hardcore, and I was like, oh shit, I better use it.
Dean says £4.99, and let's give him a super chat. Oh, it didn't click. Go. He's like, boom. Thank you, Dean, so very much for that.
And Daniel got you on Oscar weekend. Did you get that one? Oscar predictions?
Oscar, oh yeah, right here. Here we go. They're coming in like crazy. You guys are coming in fast. I got to get my right hand going. I'm a lefty who uses a mouse on my right.
Oh, you're going to get the second gong now because Steve Moreno and Ali came in. Well, Ali came in. Oh, yeah. It's Arab Emirates. So, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay, but let's start out with this one. What? I lost my place because I'm such an idiot. See, I scrolled when I shouldn't have scrolled. There it goes. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much for that. And look at the maniacs coming in the room. Steve Moreno with $20. You know what that means? It means huge super chat.
It's really short, but it took the most work for that one.
Is that crazy though? It's unbelievable.
Because I had to like mess around with it so it looked right.
Look who else? Ali Nasser in the room. That's 100. You can't let that one go because then the earthquake happens because it's destroyed all the fault lines of the planet because we blew it up. Thank you guys. That's really fun. These things are super fun. And thanks, Asheen, for making them. Because we were talking. He's like, why don't you just do virtual one?
I'll make more for the lower end because you seem to get a lot more lower end, and like you should probably have a variety.
Yeah,
I'll make like 4 for the under $20, so it doesn't get monotonous. Because every time it's those Tibetan monks with that big thing.
Andrew says my Oscar prediction is that Lydia will win Best Picture before 2030. I bet you're right.
That would be great.
I bet you're right. You know what's really funny? I kept every single episode this week of like Oscar predictions and never got to it because nobody gives a fuck. But I saw something by a person that we know, and he picked apart all the movies, and I was like, wow, I couldn't possibly disagree with this person more than his crazy, the shit that he liked. I couldn't even believe it.
Are you going to say who it is?
It was Brian Halloran.
Oh, Brian Halloran. And what was the list? I mean,
he thought Maestro was a complete piece of shit. He thought it was like a vanity project, and that the cinematography was terrible. And I mean, the way he described
this,
that's Matthew Lebatique, who's a freaking master. That guy. I think it's one of the best looking movies, though. I gotta say, Poor Things. I didn't watch the movie, but I watched the first 10 minutes. It is an incredible looking film. Sure. It's on Hulu right now for free, Asheen.
Okay.
So tune in if you want to watch that. It looked like I mean, it's kind of it's not black and white. It's just most of the color has been pulled out of it. There is some very muted color in it, but it's very inventively shot. It's kind of steampunk, that Victorian thing, and it's Frankenstein. And I know that there's a lot of grotesque pornography coming up in that film, but it's very, very shticky. Like her what she's doing there is very shticky. So it doesn't really look much like acting. It just
Scotty H PayPal'd, and so he deserves a real second Gong.
Oh my God! By the way, he's now referred to, as far as bashers go, he is Lord H.
Why is he Lord H?
Because it's our little thing.
It's your little thing.
Yeah. Let me get rid of my my little thing. I'll get that up there later. That's $20. You know what that means? Thank you for that. You put it on there. I was like, I got a little lost in the screen for a second. So I started to watch a little bit of that because I want to make sure I have all the films in. I want to make sure I've seen them all. But he went bananas for that girl in the Scorsese film, a Native American woman who did absolutely nothing in that movie.
Yeah, I didn't find that to be a particularly compelling performance in any way, but okay.
I mean, Scotty H, by the way, legend. Thank you, my friend, so much. Yeah, I was like on my PayPal the other day, and I was like, God, every single show he sends me a little PayPal. I'm like, thank you so much. You're such a legend. That's why I'm like, you're not, you're Lord. From now on, you're Lord, Lord Scotty. This is funny. Steve Marina says, how about a clip of somebody hitting a triangle, $5, or a cowbell for 10? A triangle. That's
okay. Good. Okay, I'll do it.
Daniel Gutierrez, and there he is with this. You know what happens is they come in so fast. They're coming in so fast now. You click on something and you click the wrong one because it moved up. Guys, best film and actor. Go, Asheen.
Well, is it best film? What I think is best film and best actor, or what I think will win best film?
Both.
Okay, best film will go to Oppenheimer, and best actor will go to Cillian.
Right.
Best film of the year, or neither of those. I wouldn't like. I love Cillian Murphy. He's great, but I don't think it was. I mean,
he wasn't doing much acting in that either.
He was just staring with guilt in his eyes. That's all he had to do for the whole film. Jesus, I don't know. I mean, I know like Bradley Cooper now, everyone hates him because he's like, sucking up to the Oscar vibe too much, but I think it was a really, really spectacular performance. And I think it's amazing that he made a film about, Lenny Bernstein and
because these kids have no idea. And he
I
didn't
think
do a good job, as I've said before, and forgive me if I'm a broken record. He didn't do enough in that film. It's my only gripe with that film is to show like the absolute weight of that guy's work and how important he was.
they skipped. Yeah, they missed that. It could have been a longer film.
Yeah.
They could have easily added 20 minutes on and really given us the breadth of his work a little bit more. I don't think Oppenheimer was the best film of the year at
No,
all by any
me neither.
stretch of the
Me neither.
imagination. I didn't finish Killers of the Flower Moon,
Because it was
unfortunately.
as boring as dust.
Yeah, because I got like 40 minutes in. I was like, oh, I'll finish it later, and I just couldn't. So I don't know. I'm more sure about. Hey, I'm not even sure about this either, but I loved Carrie Mulligan.
I think she should win hands down. She's the best
Yeah,
best
but
actress.
I
performer.
haven't seen Small Things or whatever it's called. I haven't
saw
seen
some
that.
of it. It's this.
Yeah, yeah, but apparently it's breathtaking. Her performance is amazing. So I don't know.
Mark
Poor
Shaw.
Things, not Small Things. Poor Things.
Poor
Sorry,
things.
Arai was in my chat trying to fucking let me know that I was fucking up my entire episode. He's like, dude,
Or I could just do this for $2.
these are not the droids you're looking for. God, it was fun.
I wish the mics weren't.
Okay, so start using the other one now for variation because.
Well, I think it's good. But no, we should make them.
I'll make a bunch more.
No, make me hit that button.
Okay. $20 instead of $5, guys. I don't want to hear that fucking big Tibetan bell or whatever
I
it
could
is.
do that. Okay, so we've got Dean for £4.99. Shane McGee, I'm biggin on you. I don't know what that means exactly. Do you? I'm biggin on you.
Begging you? I don't know.
I'm begging you. Well, here it goes. Bang. Super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat. I could do we could make an audio thing of like a barbershop. Super
Is that really real? Carolyn Killian Murphy is being Killian with a C, by the way, is being considered for the next Bond.
There's no way in hell. He's
too frail.
He's too frail and fey. I said, he'd look great in a dress.
That's what Michaela said the other night too.
Yeah, he'd look great in a dress. Yeah. He's pretty. He's got those big pouty lips. Oh, Mark Shaw.
There you go. Now we get to hear the other one.
So amazing.
Yeah, okay. So I'll make a little ding and I'll make like 4 or 5 of the regular ones so you can chop and change. So it's always interesting. Then you can use that one you just saw for 20, 25, whatever. And then you can use the nuclear. I'll make 2 nuclear. I'll make an extra atom bomb one. Okay.
Why don't you make the whatever Vladimir Putin's got up his sleeve now, his new super bomb? That's,
Tsar bomb.
Compared to his old rusty bombs that he's probably got. So they need, you know what they should send to? They should send WD-40 over to Russia. Because everything's rusty and squeaky. So yeah, we were talking about earlier about celebrating all the beautiful. There's not a lot of girls in this room, obviously, but we've got Carolyn Martin. Any other ladies in the room tonight? I haven't seen them in the chats yet, but want to say, we're celebrating you on this beautiful day. Here's Rufus, $1.99. Your bomb is better than you did.
The Oppenheimer movie.
Ain't that the truth?
I don't know why. Thanks for cutting that short. I don't know why they didn't just use stock footage of a real explosion for that explosion part in that movie. There's no shame in showing a little clip. What movie was it where it was a Vietnam War movie where they show? I think it was Deer Hunter, where they showed clips like guys landing down in these helicopters, into grass in Vietnam and stuff. And then they cut to actual real clips for a second.
Yeah. That's fine.
And you knew it was real clips. And then it would go back to the movie clips. And that's okay. It's an account of history.
I
So
agree.
they would have like they could have done the whole build up and the whole thing, and then they finally push the button and then show us real video of that real explosion, even if it's in low grade, low quality, doesn't matter. Maybe use your fucking AI shit and all your graphics guys to enhance that video and make it more fine detailed, work on the every frame or whatever, put all your work into that and show us what the explosion really looked like, because that was filmed.
Yeah, it
There's
was, right.
video footage. You can find it on YouTube. There's video footage of that first of Operation whatever it was, Midnight or whatever it was called, Twilight. What was it called? Can't remember. The first the first bomb.
Dr. No.
No, the first bomb that went.
Oh, first bomb. Little boy, big boy, and
the very first nuclear explosion.
Oh, the one in the desert.
The operation was called
Manhattan Project.
Right? Yes, the project was that, but there was another thing. No, Manhattan Project was that was the project, but whatever. Fuck.
Yeah, I think I fell asleep 5 times during that movie. I just wanted to show everybody that, like, when the Wizard of Oz when they made a movie, it looked like this. Like, and that was made out of toilet paper, a hanger, and cotton swabs.
Wow.
In 1939.
That's a pretty convincing looking tornado.
And there's a better one here too. Look at this one. There's one with.
It's like an F1.
Look at that. Yeah. Look at this shit. Yeah, I mean, these are
it's a skinny F1. It wouldn't be enough to grab up a house, but it doesn't matter.
No, it wouldn't be. Shane McGee.
Trinity Project. Thank you.
The Trinity Project. Sorry about that. Yeah, my brain doesn't work anymore. But that is a super. Shane McGee with $5.99. God damn you, Dean! I'm broke for the Grand Slam run-in. Or as Michael McDonald says, just keep them coming. Just keep them coming. I tried to sit through that Michael McDonald thing. I love him so much, but he's the most boring interview in the history of the world.
He's referring to a Rick Beato interview that happened on the internet the other day. Sorry, I'm just thinking.
No, it's fine. I didn't
watching.
know if it was necessary. I just was saying there's an interview. I think that's the way the guy's trying to monetize his channel. But what a nice guy, but wow, boring. It took me like 3 tries to get through it. He's like, yeah.
It's very rare that talent is particularly charismatic. It's a lot to ask of someone who's like a great singer-songwriter or a sports personality or whoever they may be to also be very charismatic and funny in interviews.
Like
a whole other skill. Yeah, that's a whole other skill.
Yeah.
Like to be able to pull that shit off is like a whole other thing. You're lucky if they're able to do it. Most of these actor interviews that go on of, fucking Margot Robbie and all are fucking, it's boring.
They're painful.
Yeah.
Well, it's the old thing of like Freddie Mercury was a very, very shy, a private person in real life, other than when he was like,
oh my God, his interviews are hilarious though.
Yeah, but when the camera went on, he completely changed his whole tune. But like in real life, when he's walking the streets, he didn't want to be approached. He didn't want anybody. Like even when he was like cruising all the gay bars in London, he pretended he wasn't Freddie Mercury. He just didn't want any of that shit. But he knew when to flick the switch, which is, I guess if you're doing publicity for things, it's important to be somewhat engaging.
Yeah.
But so many people, actors in general. Have you seen this thing called Actors on Actors? It's the biggest up your arse smoke fucking show.
It's the worst because it's 2 actors asking each other questions and it doesn't work. They need to stop it. It doesn't work.
Yeah, where are
because
you tonight?
what inevitably happens is one winds up being the interviewer and the other is the interviewee.
Right.
And it never properly works. Right. They need somebody else asking them questions because that's what they're used to.
Yeah, you need an actual person who knows to the art of being an interviewer, which Rick Beato, I don't think he's a very good interview. But like people back in the day that were boring, but there was so many greats. Like Letterman was great, engaging and funny and charming. And I think Jimmy Kimmel's pretty good too.
It's a whole skill.
It's a skill set. It is a skill set. Barbara Walters, she used to say, "So, is it true you were pregnant?" She would just annoy people. Dean with £4.99.
Jesus,
You're on
here we go
fire
again.
tonight, buddy.
Jesus.
Thank you so much.
You
for
should
that.
start using your little bell as well, just to break it up.
How about
Oh
this?
God! If I
I'll use
see
the
those fuckers again.
I'll use the bell for. See, now here's Mark's.
Yeah, Mark. Thank you,
Mark
you,
Shaw.
Mark. I'm
So
getting so pissed off of that other thing.
It's a huge super chat. Thank you so much.
You know what I'll do? I'll put in Lenny voice as well. I'll be like, huge super chat. You know.
Right, that's good. JBB says that Charles Barkley. You know what? Sports guys, once in a blue moon, you don't expect sports guys to be engaging. And some of them really are, like Gronk. That guy is amazing. I'm not a football person by any stretch of the imagination, but I think he's so charming and endearing. Like people like, who's fun is a good interview is Ryan Reynolds is a good interview.
Oh my God, that guy's hilarious. You know who's amazing? Fucking Ryan Gosling.
Gosling's
Ryan Gosling is... He's just naturally a comedian. I don't know if he knows that. He's just naturally funny and witty, and he's thinking on the mark and everything on the spot.
I don't think he's a right. I know everybody else does, but I don't get it at all. I'm like,
you're not into that kind of guy.
I don't get it at
You're
all.
into a different kind of looking fella.
Yeah, especially now that I'm promoting the gay life on this channel.
So Dirk, for everybody watching, Dirk lost a subscriber last week because he's promoting gay lifestyle.
Because I said I wanted to reach out to him and say, well, what am I going to do about the float at the Pride Parade? I had your position all ready to go.
You know, the only person in the gay world who is not promoting the gay lifestyle is this. It's him. You'll never hear more insults flung at the gay community.
Wow. Ladies.
My favorite of yours was years ago when the Pride Parade was in New York, and I was there. I went over to your house and I was like, Dirk, aren't you going to the Pride Parade? And you were like, no, I don't like the circus.
I've never liked the circus. I don't enjoy that because it's never like, this was always my problem. That instead of like some, well-dressed, really highly intellectual, educated people talking to the government or the archdiocese about their gripes with, the way they treat the community, it would be like some big drag queen and she'd take a shit on the steps of St. Patrick's Cathedral and say, this vagina is tired of your shit. It's always some kind of ridiculous circus freak.
It's a mess.
Doing that. It's a
They go through the West Village and a lot of stores and restaurants close. They put their shutters down because it's a tornado going through the place. And it's just going to be shit everywhere. It's an absolute mess.
How about that guy? Oh my God. I actually, like when you're appalled or you're just embarrassed and you're watching a film, it's something so horrible, and you try to like get as deep into the sofa as you can because you can't believe how horrible it is. We were watching Katie Halper the other night, and her and her gang were showing that super gay dude who's like tweed and a turtleneck when you go to the UN. God. That guy he was talking about, he goes, I love Israel. He's like, and you know what? I don't care. You can have all your Palestinians because I'm going to Israel for all the Israeli cock and hummus, the jizz and the hummus. Did you see that?
I saw it, yeah.
Oh my God. What is wrong with that person?
Why is that a talking point? Why is that?
It's not. Like, he's just.
No, but I hear it all the time. Like, oh, you should try going to Gaza. They wouldn't allow you to be who you are.
Oh,
like,
I know.
Oh, so then we should kill their kids immediately. Yeah, let's keep killing the kids constantly. Yeah, because
what does that guy get out of it? What is he? First of all, does he think that all the IDF soldiers are just can't wait to stick their dick in his mouth? Is that what he thinks?
I don't know.
Sorry about the crudeness, guys, but he's
just appealing to the worst.
So crude and violent, terrible.
Awful.
Yeah, it was horrible. So Shane McGee, you know what I'll do? I'll do this now for the
I don't please.
Shane McGee, €2.49. We're barred, Dean. Barred from what? Carolyn Martin says, "We know you're a big fan, girl. When are you gonna? She's gonna get the.
She's getting her Jennifer Aniston. Yeah,
she wants one.
Yeah,
well,
she does give a great interview. She's witty. She's funny. She's smart. She's dry. She's very dry.
She's just
Yeah.
she's just right in the moment. She always gets it right. She's adorable. I don't know why she can't keep a man because I think she's gorgeous and she does hook up with some very attractive fellas. I mean, wow, she's got a good track record. But what is it? Did she just not want kids? Is that what drives them away?
Well, didn't Sofia Vergara leave
Oh yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Manganiello or whatever his name was because he wanted kids, and she was like, "No, thanks. I had my kid 25
yeah,
years ago, 30 years ago.
yeah.
I'm done with that shit. I don't want my body to go through that." I think she's right because she's 52.
She's in her 50s. And
Yeah,
didn't they have that conversation? First of all, how old is Joe Manganiello? Is he considered
he's 47 or 46 or something,
okay?
and he was like, "I'd like kids," and it got to a head. I mean, it got to a point.
You should have had that before the nuptials. You should have had that
Yeah, but
conversation.
they wanted to screw the shit out of each other first. That was the thing. See, that's the problem.
You don't
I
have to
have
get
to,
married for that.
I have to give kudos to, we always mention him, Alec Baldwin, because when he met that crazy bitch, whatever her name is, Helena, whatever, hilarious.
Ilaria.
At least he said when they went on the date, he said, "Listen, I just want to let you know, I want kids. You know, I had Ireland, his kid with what's her name, Basinger,
Kim
years
Basinger.
ago, and he goes, and I haven't had any kids since, and I'd love to have it." God knows he was dead serious because he's popped out like 7 of them since. But he was like, "Is that cool with you or not? Because I'm going to save us a lot of time if it isn't." And she said, "No, it is fine. How do you say cucumber again?"
Yeah, how
And
do you say pregnancy in the English? Yes. Please let's make a bambino. How do you say children in Spanish? What she's a oh, man, don't get me started on that
yeah,
boy.
I know, but she popped out as kids. Man, she popped out. Is it 6 or 7?
Seven,
7 kids.
seven.
So listen, she's earned it, man. That's not, one is rough. 7? I mean, that's a machine.
And she's still got a yoga body.
She's churning them out for that guy.
Yeah.
And
For the art.
he's gonna have a heart attack in about 5-6 years. And she's gonna wind up with the entire estate. She's gonna have the house in Southampton. She's gonna have everything. And it all goes to the kids.
He
And that's it.
might
And then
wind up doing some
Joe
time.
Magnello will come over and live with her. Or whatever his name is.
Andrew Wolkowicz. I'm gonna do this just to be. Let's do old school Canadian $5. Anyone who hasn't, please give an upvote and subscribe. Yeah, guess what? I don't have 2,000 subscribers anymore because I lost that guy who didn't want to be
They're
on the
promoting
Loaded
gay
Fries.
lifestyle.
You know, I can't imagine. You know, I tried so hard to get him into the club. I sent him a membership card and an application, and he just wasn't all that interested. I don't know. And like, you know, I don't. It was when I went to the office the next day. That was I got in so much trouble. I had to go to human resources, and they said, "Well, what did you say to him?" You know, it was embarrassing for the gays. I couldn't do it.
Dude, I get a lot of shit over like drinking, like who needs a drink and having a drink and stuff. And they're like, alcohol is the devil and stuff. And
Alcohol is the devil.
Jesus Christ! Like,
I mean, we were me and Tobster got into it. Not, you know, the way we get into it, which is fine. Total respect for that guy. But
he started super chatting yet, though? That's my problem with Tobster. He's got lots of opinions.
He does
and no fucking wallet.
He does occasionally. As Carolyn says, you watch, you pay.
You watch, you pay. I like it.
Watch, as Carolyn said, you watch, you pay.
If he's gonna confront you with contrarian ideas, fucking, but isn't he a big staunch Republican? Isn't it all about the
he's
green
not
dollar?
Entirely a Republican, and he's got, you know, his ideologies and his for stuff and his ideas and his politics. But he brought up the fact that he truly, utterly believes that there's a Hollywood cabal and that there's Satanists, and you know, listen,
he's one of those guys.
Yeah, I explained. There's no such thing as Satanism. It's not real. It's an aesthetic. It's like, ooh, pentagrams and robes and candles.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's theater.
It's theater, right? That's exactly what I called it. It's theater. Because I know a couple of people who were actually slightly involved in the Church of Satan, and all they did was fuck each other and drink a lot and do drugs and do absinthe. There was no actual worship of the devil.
Well, if I picked up the correct signals from that crowd years ago, and I was, taking a look at what they were about. It was kind of about, it was Ayn Rand. It was about individualism, individual
Sure. Which that's
freedom.
Satanism.
Right,
It's
right.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ayn Rand had that whole her. I mean,
Ayn Rand.
if you read any of her, everybody says it a different way. Some people even call her Anne Rand. I've heard it. But I've heard her say it on like the Dick Cavett show or whatever.
Ayn Rand. That
Ayn
sounds
Rand,
right.
yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah.
I mean, 2112, dedicated to the genius of Ayn Rand.
Yeah, he was
on the back of that.
He was a big fan.
Well, they all read
The Fountainhead,
Fountainhead
Anthem,
and Anthem.
Anthem. That they named their record label Anthem.
Their record label's called Anthem, and they have a song called Anthem.
That's right. Anthem of the heart and anthem of the mind.
Anthem of the heart and anthem of the mind. Feeling the dirge.
It's about being an individual. It's about that always stuck in his craw. Anyway, Neil Peart, we're talking about from Rush, guys. Anybody who doesn't know, I'm sure most of you know by now. With this crowd, but then years later it was Subdivisions, and it was about the nerdy guy at school who's not part of the. Remember the video? He wasn't part of the cool kids and so on. It's a very rock theme, isn't it? Like the cool kids. The jocks with all the girls in the back of the Cadillac, and then the nerdy loner with his headphones on and his big glasses, but he's into the metal and he's into the rock. That was always the image, right?
That was kind of when you watch all those old videos back in the day, and they were one of the first bands to start doing a lot of that. That was, what year is that? That album's what, 82? Signals?
Probably, yeah. Signals, yeah.
I remember when Signals came out, I was a little disappointed on that record because it just came off of Moving Pictures. Now I love it.
Synthesizers,
because there's a lot of using Prophet 5s and ARPs. And,
I love it.
All that shit. I love that record now. Losing It is on that record. It's one of my favorite songs they ever did. Mark Shaw, you are a legend tonight. You're a legend tonight. Bang. $2. R.E. Sophia V. Check out Griselda. Yeah, I meant to watch that. I'm sure you're going to watch that, right?
I started watching it. She has makeup, like heavy makeup on her nose. She's made out to look different. It looks like her, but kind of like her sister, who's not as pretty as her. Like they fucked up her nose and they put stuff on her face, like prosthetic shit, and made her look different. So, if you want to look at Sofia Vergara for 2 hours, you're not really going to get to see her.
Right.
But she's trying to step into real roles now, which I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know if she has the acting chops to stand up to that kind of thing, but
she's got comedy chops, that's for sure.
She has comedy chops,
yeah. Andrew Olkrich with and I'm going to read this before I hit the thing because this is very interesting. I had an ex that preferred women tell me that everyone should try a same-sex experience. I told her for girls it's a different flavor. That's what everybody says. But for a guy, if not into it, would be a real pain in the ass.
Jesus.
Not necessarily, Andrew. No means no.
Right.
But for that, I'm going to give you the media. It's just so randy and it's so timely, so poignant for today's times, because everybody now is fluid, and maybe that is because there's no stigma growing up anymore. It used to be like, you're in the closet, go hide. So maybe that's what it is. So everybody's like, oh yeah, I like girls, I like both. Everybody I know has got friends who like girls and boys, and there's no kind of.
What I was thinking today? It's International Women's Day. Is that a problem to say?
I said that at the top of the show.
Oh, you did.
I said, let's celebrate all the mothers and daughters and sisters and wives and best friends that are girls, because you've taken a pretty hard hit over the last couple of years because everyone is just completely co-opting your gender. Because everybody wants to be this.
Is it old fashioned now to celebrate International Women's Day?
No, I don't think so. I think females are an incredible thing, and you should be able to celebrate them. Celebrate this beautiful thing that God gave the world, right? I mean, I might not personally like them on a sexual basis, but I certainly appreciate them in every other capacity. I think they're smarter, stronger, have much more interesting. I think they'd be great leaders. There's so many advantages that we're like, yeah, tits.
Marked 5493. You're right. Girls who love boys and want boys to be girls who love boys. That was a
Yeah,
good. That was like their first big
that was
single.
the first one, right?
Bar, yeah, second one maybe.
Yeah, they never
First one
really
was
made it.
coffee and cigarettes, I think.
Oh, really? I just know
Yeah,
cigarettes and chocolate milk. You guys used to play that.
cigarettes and chocolate milk. No, maybe Colin did.
No, you did. You played it at Taylor's Hall.
I was never involved in that song in any way. I don't think.
Really? I mean, I don't know.
You're thinking of Colin. You're thinking of Colin by
No, it was
himself.
before he ever did solo shows. It was way before that.
Cigarettes and chocolate milk. No,
No, I'll have to
you
ask
thinking
him.
of something else.
He'll know.
He'll remember. He'll remember.
He used to do "Beautiful" by Christina Aguilera.
Yes, yes. Hey, we did a lot of covers to pay the rent, man.
Yeah, but that's a great way to get your chops going too. Playing all
That's
those
true.
covers, it's an amazing way to get your chops done. Doing a couple of sets of other people's music, you get like
That's
all
a long
the chords.
conversation. That's a long conversation because I have a theory about that. I don't know if you
I
want to hear it.
personally, because I've never done that, and I don't know anybody else's songs, but like when all my musicians who are really, been doing covers for years, they can just sit in, man, and
I
play
know,
with
but
anybody.
okay, and if that's what you want to do, so very briefly, it happens with actors too. When I see people impressionists, right?
Mhm.
Just the other day, there's that woman. What was her name? I shared her with you. She sings all the
Karen Carpenter stuff.
No, a different one. She was Miss America for a while. She's beautiful, and she sings. She has an amazing voice. She sings, blah blah blah. I don't know. These are a few of my favorite things, etc., etc. Right, all of that stuff.
Vanessa Williams.
No, these are a few of my favorite things.
That's Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews, and she does all that stuff. And then somebody asked, like, "What's your real voice?" And she sang in her real voice, and I wrote a comment. A lot of people liked it. I was like, "Is it bad that I think you're still impersonating someone?" And that's what a lot of people are like. Oh my god, it's true. Like we can't tell anymore. And I think when you do a lot of covers and you learn a lot of chops from other musicians and you learn to perfect that, you lose a singular identity. Let me tell you something, right? The worst cover band in the world is U2, Radiohead, Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, etc., etc. They're the worst. They can't play other people's chops because their chops are so distinct in themselves that that's their art. You start learning the art of other musicians, you're only going to deplete your own individuality within itself. That's my theory about that. I know that's a huge 6 hour.
I'm fascinated by it because I've never done it. I've only ever played my own music my whole life, and I've always struggled with my identity as an individual because as a singer, I think I've worn my influences because I can copy a lot of people pretty easily, and I've always felt that I never found the specific me, like that sound, and that's why I love people who have super distinctive voices.
Like Chris Squire is one of my favorite bass players of all time. Geddy Lee from Rush, one of my favorite bass players. They can't play other shit very well. They can probably fool around with it, but they can't. Like Chris Squire is dead now for 10 years, but he wasn't able to do anything else but Chris Squire. Other musicians tried to play like he did.
How did Geddy do with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Did he do a good job when he sat in with them?
He was Geddy Lee. He can't do Chris Squire. He's Geddy Lee. So that's what I'm trying to say. I've seen so many musicians do this stuff. Learn the art of other great musicians and learn all the other chops. And while that's a cool thing in itself, what you're doing at the tail end of that is you're diluting who you would have been or who you are. That's my theory about that. And I think that these musicians, there's a lot of musicians who can literally get up on the stage and you go, play Bootsy Collins, and they'll fucking do Bootsy Collins perfect. And play whoever, and they'll just go, but then you go, who are you? And they go, I don't know who I am. There's nothing left anymore. They aren't anything in the first place. So that's my theory about that. But that's not good.
I mean, I think you grew up in Ireland, and so you had like, what were your shining examples of
No, you start out
originality
with
there?
your influence. You start out with your influences, but then it
Sure,
grows into its own thing.
you would hope, because
You
some
would
people
hope.
it doesn't, right?
Okay.
So growing up, the big things for you, like coming out of Ireland, were obviously U2. Who else?
Sure.
Van Morrison, people like that. Like, who were
Yeah, well,
the?
U2 kind of dominated the pop rock sphere.
Yeah,
And we as a band we were influenced by different British bands and American
sure.
and
Well,
so on.
we you and I talked
Different
about that the other
stuff,
night.
So it's not like we were very Irish. People would say, "Oh, it's an
No,
Irish rock band." They would be like, "Oh, so you play whiskey in the jar?" And I'm like, "No, we don't. We never play whiskey in the jar." So we were a little
Metallica
bit
plays that.
different. We were a little different, and
Yeah, you don't sound like an
anyway,
Irish
that's
band.
that's just my theory on
I
that.
think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating because, some people, maybe they can't write songs, or they haven't had the chance to develop their writing skills, so they wind up being in a Shania Twain cover band or whatever, and then they wind up. Oh, do you guys know Brown Eyed Girl? Of course, everybody has to know Brown Eyed Girl. Then you get all these. Then they only know how to do that, and they never maybe had the chance. You guys did have the chance because you started out
Mm.
writing songs, and then you took some gigs playing covers, but you always had tons of original music. You're one of the few bands that I know that were able to do both.
I mean, I just like think of the actors, right? You say, like if you went up to Alan Rickman and you said, "Do your best, Bruce Willis," he wouldn't be able to do it because
No,
Alan Rickman was Alan Rickman,
Alan Rickman. Yeah.
So it's like honing your craft there on impersonating other people's styles can be fun and admirable in its own way, but it will deplete your own individuality. That's where I stand with that.
Interesting. Andrew Wilkwich, Canadian $5. If Bob Dylan had a good antihistamine, would he sound like Neil Diamond? Or if Neil Diamond was stuffed up, would he sound like Dylan? That's pretty funny. I mean, like, I don't enjoy Bob Dylan's voice at all, but I certainly enjoy his songwriting, and I enjoy everything Neil Diamond ever did. There's nothing about that guy I don't love. I just think he's great. Mark says Chris Squire is based on Going for the One Who's Playing. It's another interesting fact for any of you who don't know, but it's very nerdy. The other difference is that Chris Squire played with a pick and Geddy Lee does not, and that's going to change that. That's going to make him not cop it well either. It's going to be weird. Shane, I want to just say one thing, that the only reason why you think U2 started out as a punk band is because Bono keeps saying it, and he needs to stop it. Punk band.
But the very, very start they were.
Punk
But
band.
think about that. Yeah, that's a great example. They were influenced by punk that was all around them. They were really into punk. If you see the very, very first clips of them, they all look like punk rockers because that was the thing to be at the time. And then they found their own thing. I mean,
Quickly.
there's nothing about Edge's guitar style that's a punk band at all. And now everybody copies Edge. Edge didn't sound like anyone before him or even since him.
No.
And if you asked Edge to get up and jam with the guys down on Bleecker Street and play fucking Shaka Khan and shit, he wouldn't be able to do it.
No.
And he's worth, $300 million, whereas the guys down on Bleecker Street are worth $3.
They have a delay pedal there at the Lantern.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree, though. I mean, a guy like that, he's so singular. You would never did you watch that thing when it might get loud? It was Jimmy Page, The Edge, and Jack White. Now, I actually have a new respect for Jack White. I've hated him my whole life because I just think he's annoying, but he's actually really individual and very interesting. And I was like, who the fuck invited that guy to be in a room with The Edge and Jimmy Page? Really? It made no sense to me. But then I went, wait a minute. This guy really does fly by his own wire. He's completely unique, whether I like it or not. And that's true of most art. It's subjective. But, he's done a lot of things. He's produced country records with superstars, and he's very versatile in what he does. He did that terrible James Bond theme with Alicia Keys, which was atrocious.
So who's going to be the next Bond? It's not Cillian Murphy. You can't be Cillian Murphy.
No.
He's not badass enough. He's scary. He's creepy. when he wants to be, but I've never
No,
seen him kind of be that.
he's too lightweight. You know,
Yeah,
you blow on him and he'd fall over. I mean, I used to think. I mean, everybody wanted Idris Elba because everybody wanted a black James Bond. Which, like, he's a fictional
it
character.
wasn't
He
that he
could,
was black; it was that he was muscular and tough and authoritative and strong and a little bit kind of silent. He
yeah,
had that kind of temperament to him. It didn't matter to me
because
that
of
he was black.
Luther.
He was just no, but I've seen him in so many different roles that he's
No,
just, he's a stoic looking character,
yeah,
and he's suave, he's got charisma. So I bought it when people were like, "Oh, it's going to be Idris Elba." I thought, well, for one, they're going to do it because it's black. He's black, and that plays into the whole woke narrative. So fine, okay, you got to do that. Fine, go ahead and do it. It's ridiculous, but fine. But for me, it made sense because he looked so fucking good in a suit. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And he looks strong, and he looks like a kind of guy who can punch a dude out, knock a guy's lights
yeah.
out, and report to the realm at the end of the day and say, His Majesty's Secret Service, blah blah blah, and do all of that. So it kind of made sense. It was the whole enigma, the character. That's what I was buying personally.
Right. I mean, I like him, and I think he'd be fine, but he's too old now. He's well into his 50s. And Bond, Daniel Craig, they tapped him when he was like 36 or 37 because they need to get like 5 movies out of
Right,
Bond.
right, right. Yeah, makes sense.
I think Henry Cavill might be a good fit. He might be a little too big and too pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like my radar was, when Daniel Craig was chosen, I was furious. It's like, this is going to be a mess. It's going to be horrible. And of course, I was so wrong.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe you just got to let Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson figure it out for themselves. I mean, I hope they don't kowtow to pressure and get some Asian dude to be Bond or whatever.
I heard a brilliant thing. This is getting philosophical now, but I heard a brilliant thing recently that was, don't try to always make the right decision. Make the decision right.
Ooh, I like that.
And the idea is that, like, whatever you go with, just make it work. You'll never know if you made the right decision. If you go to one college instead of another college, would it have been better? You'll never know. Just make do with what you have. And I feel like that's definitely a part of this casting. It's like they go with a guy, but maybe not all the answers are there, but they have to recreate the whole thing and make everyone else believe. And you just gave an example of it. You didn't believe in
Didn't.
Daniel Craig, and now
He's
you do.
blonde.
Right?
What the fuck?
What the fuck about that? Yeah. When I first saw him, I always thought Daniel Craig to me was ugly. He was a strange.
He's ugly, beautiful. He's both.
Yeah. He's a strange looking dude.
Yeah.
But of course, women went for, he's rugged as fuck. And it
Casino
worked.
Royale,
They made it work, and it did work. So,
Scott Lord H. Jack White, that's $9.99. So I gotta give you a real one, because why not? Because that's a super chip. Thank you, Lord H, for that. Yeah, I don't know who they're gonna pick. There's a lot of guys out there like Tom Hollander, too young, too skinny, too twinky. Please don't pick a twink. You gotta have a man. It's gotta be a man. Forget about your gender reassignments and your perceptions of all that shit. Can we just have a man to do the job? He's supposed to be a blunt instrument. We need a macho, masculine guy. This masculine toxicity thing is getting really boring. It's really boring. I happen to really enjoy very masculine, toxic men. I don't think it's a problem. Jonathan says Cumberbatch. I think he's too intellectual, nerdy. I think he's wrong. And he's another one who's very funny looking. He's a funny looking guy.
The other thing as well to keep in mind is once they take on that role, that's it for them. That's the end of their career. They're going to sign up for 5 or 6 movies, and then they're done. And they'll always be Bond after that. It's going to be very hard for them to do anything else.
It took 20 years for Pierce Brosnan to start getting roles for Pierce Brosnan and not for James Bond. Yeah. And he looks great, and he's so good in everything he does. Sure. I love, and I thought when he was on that show Remington Steele, I didn't think he was right for Bond either, because he was very slender, but he filled out. Mark 5493 says Rod Taylor. Rod Taylor is my second favorite guy in the history of actors. I love him, and he's Australian, so he was part of the realm, so he could have been in it. He's dead now, but that was in the 60s. He was, yeah, he would have been a great Bond. Rod Taylor,
Okay,
Sunday in
we're
New
going
York.
back there.
Yeah, I mean, but for today,
we're talking about
I don't
now,
know.
dude.
I don't know. Like, who are the top contenders? I mean, we could have fun and we could like look and see who the top contenders are. The top, because we both love Bond. Top.
Hey, I like Araya Putra. Sorry, thank you. That's playing into my ego. You put the father on the wrong eye, though. Thank you for trying, though. That's good. We need a younger Oisin as Bond. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, man.
So here's who will be the next Bond. So let's see. And there's some Victoria's Secret models, and none of the fat ones. Oh, that's nice. That's refreshing. I'm tired of seeing fat girls in their diapers on commercials. Okay, this first guy, no, yes. I love Tom Hardy, but isn't that ship past?
He might be good. Tom Hardy's he's got the stuff.
I don't like his cherubic lips. Too pouty looking. I like him a lot. This guy's got to go to straight to hell. Who are you? Aaron Taylor Johnson.
A great actor. He's an amazing shit. You saw him in that Tom Ford movie, The Nocturnal Animals.
Oh, that's right. He was in.
He's been in a ton. He's really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy needs to go straight.
This guy's showing off his watches. He's got a Seamaster 300 there. Oh no, he's got a. It's
a fossil.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yep.
Oh dear God, sorry. What's he showing it off for then?
I don't know. This is I don't know how you say that. Roger Jean Page. No, he's no, that's no good.
Never mind.
Oh no. And no, she was in No Time to Die, and she was good. She was cool. No, Lashana Lynch. I don't know who this is. Jacob Elordi. I don't know who that is. Look at
he
his.
Might be okay. I don't know.
No, look at this smushy. No, his face is all wrong. All wrong. No, who's this guy? Robert Aram. No, these guys are all wrong. Wrong. I love his jacket though. Watch fashion, please. I would be all over that. That's beautiful. That looks like Tom Ford. I mean, look, he's the guy. He's perfect.
I think Idris out of that bunch. I think Idris. I'm down with Idris.
Who the fuck
is black? Who gives a shit?
I don't give a shit. He's a fictional character. You can be anything.
He's a British man. It doesn't fucking matter what his skin looks
Papa like. Studio. Beautiful jacket. Michaela would love that jacket. It's beautiful. Who is this guy? Paul Mescal. Oh no, totally not. No way.
I'm seeing
no way. Don't know him. There's Tom, looking great in that suit, though.
Tom could do it. He could.
Yeah, he could. This guy, no. Stop it with this. This guy. Oh, this is people are talking about Tom Holland. Are you kidding me? He looks like James Bond's baby brother. No thanks.
Isn't he 5 foot tall?
This guy is Richard Madden. I think he might be the top choice. Look at that. That guy could be Bond.
Well, I don't know his acting.
He was in BBC's The Bodyguard. I saw him in a movie recently, and I was like, "Wow, that guy looks like James Bond." No, this isn't. No, why don't you just say
that fella? He might be okay because he's a little dark. I mean, not skinned. I mean, dark. I mean, obviously, he's dark skinned. He's a little dark. His character, he's got something evil in his eyes, like when he has a stare. So that might work.
I don't think so. Tom Hiddleston. Are they crazy?
That's too old-fashioned.
Oh, Jesus.
That's too
this guy.
royal.
Oh, James Norton. No. But is he wearing there? We're looking at the watches.
I like that jacket. Ooh, he's wearing it. That's an old Oyster Perpetual with the 369. I did a video on that exact watch. I had that exact watch for ages. No.
Oh, John Boyega. What are they crazy? No. Oh, and there you go. Come on.
Yeah,
give him the job, will you?
He might be good for it.
Give him the job.
Yeah.
Just give him the job already.
Yeah.
No.
Not Killian.
No.
Not Killian.
Oh, not him.
This guy might get it. Yeah, Jamie Dornan.
He's got dead eyes in movies. He's got dead eyes.
Okay.
Oh right, this guy, he's interesting.
What's his
Evans.
name?
Luke
Luke
Evans.
Evans.
Yeah,
Maybe. Yeah.
he's
Maybe.
gay.
Okay.
Just
Doesn't
saying,
matter.
they kill two
He'd
birds
be
with one
promoting
stone.
gay lifestyle, just like you
Oh,
do.
don't do that. He's going to be on the float. Don't jump. Don't get on the float. Scotty H
Look at your
says,
cap.
Jack
Look
White,
at your cap right now, Dirk.
crooked.
You're out looking for Jaws. You're catching a shark today.
Right.
Your cap is you're out on the rig, on the oil
Arr.
rig. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
You're on the oil rig.
Man in the streets and a queen in the sheets. Scotty Lord H $9.99. Jack White owns Elvis's first record on Sun, I would imagine, has a home in Tulsa. And I'm just gonna just do this just to for variety.
That's my favorite.
I like I gotta say I like them all. I like the nuclear explosion too.
Yeah, the nuclear.
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, twink bond. We don't need any twinks, and we don't need any transgender bonds. We need a man. He's got to be a man. He's got hairy knuckles.
He doesn't have to be as fucking rugged as Daniel Craig. They could tone it back a little bit toward the pretty and elegant if they want, but they can't pick some fey flake of a guy. They can't. After Daniel Craig, they can never go back too far from the muscles. Since he did that scene where he walks out of the water and he's fucking built like a brick shithouse, like they can't go back now too much. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Angelo Minichello, Canadian, $10. Perhaps the principle of wabi sabi is what Oshin was talking about, the beauty of perfection in imperfection. Interesting.
Imperfection. I like that. That's cool. That deserves a gong.
Yeah. Let's get the gong. Sorry, I was just thinking about what he's saying there. Okay, let's do that. Thank you so much. Interesting. Hunter's Angler says, where was that thing? Where was I? Did I miss it? I had it a second ago. He said he worked for Tom Ford. Wow. Oh, there it is. I worked for Tom Ford at his ranch in New Mexico, which I believe he's since sold. Wow. What was he like? Tell us. I think he's persnickety.
I would imagine so.
I would imagine.
Imagine him judging you all day long, what you're wearing and your style.
We have a brand new super chatter, hippie_PA, talking about actors. Who are your top 5 guys, actors dead or alive? Who would you want to sit down with a cigar and a drink? Mine are Clooney, Hardy, Sinatra, Connery, and Craig.
Oh, that's
very cool. I love this.
Good
let's
selection.
give that a you.
I mean, Clooney, I'd love to. Hardy, I'm not that interested. He's a good performer. Clooney is a director and an actor. He's very, very interesting. He has a house here in Italy. He's a drinker. Sinatra, of course. Sinatra, Jesus. Connor, yes. And Daniel Craig, yeah. Don't know if I'm that interested in hanging out with that dude. What are you doing? You writing down a list?
Yeah.
You're busy at work there.
Yeah, I'm writing down who I would want.
Like I love.
Who are you guys? You were able to come up with it just right away.
I love Daniel Day-Lewis as an actor, but I don't think I'd hang out with him. Maybe I would. I don't know. I don't know if he's an asshole or not. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I think I'd have a lot of fun with Clooney because he likes to drink. He's fun. He's a bit of a maniac. He's a joker and a prankster. And he's got strong opinions about stuff. I like that.
Yeah, I agree. So, do the roll call.
I don't know. I don't have a list. Do you have a list? Go ahead.
Yeah. Number 1, William Holden, my favorite actor, man's man, most handsome guy that's ever lived. Rod Taylor, you mentioned him earlier. I love Rod Taylor. I love all his movies. Sean Connery because he's the fucking king.
Sure.
George Clooney because I agree with him on almost everything. Plus, he's the Speedmaster, isn't he?
Oh yes, we could talk watches too.
Oh my God, Speedmaster's all day long, and he's friends with Buzz Aldrin.
Right.
I mean,
and he's got every speedy on Earth. Yeah, that would be a cool part.
Yeah, And then for my last guy, an old-timey actor named George Sanders. And if anybody knows who that guy is, he was incredible. He was a British actor, All About Eve. He was in he was in Rebecca.
So no
Strange
modern actors.
Yeah, Clooney I picked.
Clooney. Okay.
I like old movies. I love he was in tons of The Lady Escapes. He was in a lot of Hitchcock. He's amazing. If you don't
What
know
about like Bill Murray or someone fun like that?
Bill Murray apparently is a complete and utter asshole in real life.
Really?
Yeah, everybody says he's a dick. But here's a funny thing. George Sanders, he killed himself and he left a suicide note and he said, "I've seen it all and I am bored."
Wow.
And that was the end of him.
I can say that right now. Right? I don't need to kill myself. There's too much wine to still drink.
Thanks for that, hippie_PA. A very cool, potent end. Listen, that's what super chats do. You give us a chat like that and with a really great question, and it steers the conversation exactly where you want it to go. So yeah. Hunter Zangler says Tom Ford and I spray painted a yellow bulldozer black one time. Oh, that's cool. I can't imagine.
Crazy.
I know he's from there and he's kind of like a cowboy, but you know,
Wow.
he wears such tailored suits.
Dang.
Yeah. He sold the ranch. Yeah, I read that he sold that. He lives in like London now, I think. Well, he could live wherever he wants with them. He sold his company for $3 billion.
Yeah.
Not bad. He was only in business for like 10, 15 years. Isn't that crazy? Built
That's
a
crazy
brand.
because I was researching the Guinness family earlier because during my, I'm still working on the Ireland video, hoping to get it out for Paddy's Day, by the way. I did a naughty thing. I flew my drone out over the Guinness estate. With the Guinness family, you're not supposed to do. I don't know if I can get in trouble for even showing it on the video, but I feel like just doing it anyway and just rolling the dice. But like, so I'm looking up there, like the estate is 5,000 acres. Okay.
Wow.
The lake there and everything is part of their estate. And I looked up the net worth of the family. It's 1.1 billion. And
that's it.
Okay, that's a lot of money, but there are people with a lot more money than that. And this is Guinness. This is the Guinness family. How long have they been around selling Guinness all over the world?
Do they still own the company outright, or does InBev own it, or did somebody?
I don't know. They actually don't own the estate as of 2019, but I'm going to say it in the video anyway because they owned it forever. But some billionaire came in and bought the estate from them. Someone else lives there now. Apparently, it was a big party haven, like all these fucking big stars. Once they got massive in Ireland and England and so on, they'd get the call from the Guinness family and go party on that estate.
Really?
Like they've had Bono and they've had all these people down there, yeah. And there's a thing called the Guinness Girls. Apparently they had like Playboy girls or something like
the Guinness Girls.
The Guinness Girls.
Right. Have you met the Guinness Girls?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like it was like an eyes wide, the eyes wide shut of Ireland, of Dublin. Was on the Guinness estate.
The Guinness Girls. I never heard of such a thing. I'm almost horrified.
I know. I'm trying to pull the thread on that because I'm trying to find out exactly what kind of shit I'm in. But I think I'm just going to show the video anyway. I'm putting it into
you?
I made sure not like I got the drone back pretty quick because I'm like, they'll shoot it down, man. They probably have someone on the estate with a shotgun who's going to shoot the fucking drones.
I don't think so. But listen, there's a book about it. The Glorious Guinness Girls. From London to Ireland during the 1920s, this glorious, gripping, and richly textured story takes us to the heart of the remarkable real-life story of the Guinness Girls. Perfect for fans of Downton Abbey and Julian Fellowes' Belgravia. Is this fiction?
I don't know. No, but
no, it's based on a real thing, huh?
Based on a real thing. It's like Great Gatsby, but in Ireland.
I want to read this tonight. Descendants of the founder of the Guinness beer empire, they were the toast of 1920s high society, darlings of the press with not a care in the world. But Felicity knows better, sent to live with them as a child because their mother could no longer care for her. Okay, I see what's going on here. All right, so this is like a novel based on historical truths, which is kind
But
of like,
apparently it stretched into the 70s and 80s and 90s, like a similar thing, as in if you were invited to the Guinness estate, you were going to have the time of your life, basically, which is kind of juicy. At least
wow.
let me believe it for a minute, you know.
There are so many books about the Guinness girls. One's called A Hint of Scandal. I mean,
Is that
I didn't
crazy?
know it. The Guinness Girls and the Devil's Decade, the 1930s. Uh-oh. Sounds like a sexual slave trade, you Guinness
How
boys. What
long
were
have
you
they been
doing?
selling Guinness in Ireland? 200 years, 150 years?
Guinness, yeah, when was that Guinness?
I mean, think of the empire. Anyway, you'll see in the video.
1759.
Wow. Okay. A lot longer.
265 years ago.
Wow. You'll see the estate. It's outrageous. I
What's
mean, you
it?
won't
Did
see
you
it
ever?
up close. You'll see it from way up above, like from half a mile up. I had to keep that fucker way up high. I was out there with Neve and my man. We went out to the Sally Gap. It's called the Sally Gap over the Wicklow Mountains. My God, that's such a barren, weird area. It's paradise and also hell at the same time. Like, there's no one to be seen. It's all bog land. It's all turf,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost untouched by humans. Like, it's incredible. But
You could sneak in there and get the peat, though.
yeah, you can grab peat and put it on the fire.
Quick, Donald, quick, get the truck.
Yeah,
I don't even know where it is. Where is it exactly?
it's in Wicklow. It's just
Oh, it's in Wicklow. Yeah, wow.
yeah, it's
That's a
not
great place
far
to
from
hide a body.
Glendalough.
Oh,
Yeah, it's you just keep going down the trail and you wind up in the Sally Gap, and you go up into it rises up into the mountains, and it's yeah, it's very, there's a panorama up there. It's magnificent.
wow. Diageo owns Guinness and some French company. Is it Diageo? Jesus Christ. What don't they own? Yeah, manufacturer Diageo. But Diageo, I believe it's British, right? Which makes it even worse.
Well, the worst thing for me was when you know, a lot of these Italian like Dainese and Ferrari and all of these are getting sold over to people in the Emirates and so on. Yeah, it's all Middle Eastern owned now, like fucking Dainese. You know, I remember meeting Aldo Dainese. Like, he started making motorcycle jackets with his wife. They had hand stitched them and everything. And then it was a huge empire of Dainese. It's like the greatest motorcycle gear ever. And it's been sold since. It's still here. It's outside of Vicenza, but it's not owned by an Italian anymore. Isn't that crazy?
Shane McGee, 5 year. I'll do the old fashioned. I'll go old fashioned. €5.99. Dirk, if you liked Spaceman, which I did, you like Eternal Sunshine. You mean like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Yeah.
Go check it out. I mean, I've obviously seen that movie.
Or maybe it's a different. No, maybe Eternal Sunshine
Is that a different movie? Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is not sci-fi in any way. It's
No, it's
a love story.
It's a love story, and it wasn't it directed by that video guy? Was it
Spike Jonze?
Oh, it's Spike Jonze. Oh,
yeah, Spike Jonze. Yeah.
It is Spike Jonze. I was thinking of the French one, the one that did Everlong by the Foo Fighters, and that guy. He also made some movie about cardboard.
Now, are you going to go see? Are you going to see Dune 2?
I didn't see the first one. I don't care.
Oh, you didn't see the first? Oh.
You liked it?
I liked it, and man, that soundtrack! Oh my god,
is it good?
It's so huge. The soundtrack is bigger than the movie. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know what happened to me. I just
they're slow sci-fi movies. If you want slow and weird,
I love the book. I love the Frank Herbert books. I was so into them, and then now it's just when it comes to like fantasy, I'm just so kind of turned off. I don't know what happened to me. Like, I want to watch it. And Timothy Chalamet is in it, right?
Oh, everyone's in it. Josh Brolin, Florence Pugh, etc., etc. is a long list.
That's your girl.
There's one of them. Yeah,
she's Florence
I
Pugh.
like her. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I would like to. Maybe I'll watch it. It's been on for ages for free on the streaming.
Dude, watch it on the biggest screen possible. Oh, that shit is panorama. It's monstrous. I mean,
I'll
You're
watch
not
it on my 50-inch biggest screen that I have.
perfect, and turn off the lights and turn up the music.
Yeah,
You're not a movie theater goer, but anybody out there who is, you got to see Dune 2 in fucking IMAX shit. Like, you got to go to the biggest screen possible, because that stuff is like, never mind Oppenheimer and IMAX. What a waste of
what was
perfectly
the
good
why?
film. No
Why?
point. They could have shot on an Arri Alexa Mini, no problem. But no, Dune is like when it's just monstrous scenes of sand and guys like it's like Lawrence of Arabia or something.
Sure, sure.
It's like that shit.
Who did that?
Denis Villeneuve
Villeneuve. He did it, right? Yeah, he's an
makes
inventor.
big movies, man. He made
Yeah,
Arrival.
that was great. Didn't he
Fuck.
make the one? What was the one with the first thing he did? Wasn't that everybody was hoping District 9? Was that his?
Was that his? Okay.
Yeah, and he never made a sequel, and that movie was really inventive and interesting, and it was very low budget. I love Arrival. I think that's a fucking masterpiece.
Oh my god.
I loved that movie,
Yeah,
and I love her.
that's a divisive movie
Really?
because people either hate it or they adore it. I've never met anyone who went, "Oh, it was okay." I only have
Oh,
ever met people who went, "Oh, it was shite, it was boring," or
did
people are
they?
like, "Oh my god, it's amazing."
I can't imagine anybody. I mean, just in that way the language from those. Oh my god!
It was so psychological. That's why I haven't finished Spaceman. I watched another, I don't know, 40 minutes of it today earlier.
Uh,
And I like it because it's psychological. I don't
it's
know.
very psychological.
I got to the bit where he's kind of dreaming of kissing her and he's drunk on vodka and he's spinning in the.
Mm-hmm.
What is he drinking? He's drinking vodka or something, right? Just to get through the hours. He has a bottle in his hand.
Yes,
I don't know, he's drinking. But that was
I don't
quite
know if I
powerful.
noticed what he was drinking, but
Whatever it was so he could get inebriated and get out of his mind because he's 6 months in space in the middle
yeah.
of nothing.
Would you do that? Would you do the 6 months in space?
Of course I would. I've done 3 years in Venice practically alone. I could do 6 months in space without any
Different.
hitch.
You can't go
Just
down
make
to.
sure there's plenty of booze and I'll be
I mean,
fine.
there wouldn't be any booze up there though, really, because you have to fucking check everything. You have to be a scientist and.
Do you remember the first season of The Walking Dead?
Mm-hmm. Great. It was
That was the
amazing.
best one, right? The only good one, really.
Yeah.
And they get to the
Shane.
CDC, and your man is like by himself there, and
Mm.
he's just drinking every day because he knows the truth that everyone is a zombie. They just have to die to find out, or they'll never find out, or whatever.
That first season was great. I got when Shane died, my heart died with the show too. It was hard to watch because it was such great casting. I loved that show, and then it just I mean that show went on way too long. I was thinking of Michelle Gondry. That's somebody, and you guys are all so smart. Let me go find where that is. Where did I see that? Oh yeah, Calm. You're so. How did you fucking come up with that? I was thinking of Michelle Gondry. That's who I thought did it, but he made that movie about. Hold on a second. You're home, right? Yes. What's that movie you love by Michelle Gondry about the cardboard? That movie that I just didn't get that you think's amazing, and it's all cardboard and
Science of Sleep.
The Science of Sleep. He loves that. That's Michelle Gondry.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's weird.
Uh,
Michelle Gondry is very interesting, very artsy fella. I bet you Lydia loves him. I bet.
Probably, if it's arty, she'll like it.
It's
She
very.
loves Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, well,
She loves all his stuff. Yeah,
he's an artist that they gave a bag of money to. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah,
They gave.
and so is Chris Nolan.
I think Chris
Nolan's an
Nolan
artist
hasn't
they gave
been
all
that
the
in a
money to.
while.
He hasn't.
Since the Batman movies. I think so. I think I mean, Interstellar was good. Obviously, we liked it. And and what's his face didn't ruin it, which was amazing.
I love that film. And I loved Inception.
I don't know if I loved that. I was just like,
I love that film.
oh. And I've never seen the movie The Prestige.
It's pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
What is he like as an actor, really, though?
Who?
the Australian closet case with the circus.
Oh,
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Is he good? Can he act?
He can perform.
Okay, because I've never really seen the guy act. I've always seen him be Hugh Jackman. So I don't know whether or not
he can perform. It's different.
Uh,
I think it's a different skill. There was someone who said years ago that Al Pacino stopped acting and started performing.
I agree.
Sometime before Scent of a Woman or something.
No, it was that. Ooh, he became
he
that.
Stopped, he stopped acting and he became a performer. I don't know.
You know, he used to talk like that, you know.
What about Donnie Brasco?
But that was before Donnie Brasco was before Scent of a Woman, wasn't it?
I just listened to a YouTube video the other day of it was a recording of a phone call between the real Donnie Brasco and Lefty.
Oh,
like the real guys on the phone. And I get it now. I get why they made Lefty such a nut, because it's pretty hard to figure out anything the real guy was even saying. He was just shooting off his mouth constantly and going, Donnie, don't disappoint me, Donnie, you know, and stuff. And I get where I actually think they did him a huge service in the film, you know, with Pacino's acting, because he had a depth. I think the real guy was just a fuckwit completely.
I love that.
I listened to it for an hour and I was like, I have no idea what he's ever said in the entire phone call. And he clearly suspects Donnie to be a rat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, one of the last films that Johnny Depp made, he can't make regular films anymore. He's a creature. He's now, he cannot be a character, and he can't be a family man on a business trip who gets caught up in espionage. He has to be some kind of strange, dark, sinister,
or two-dimensional weird cartoon.
Yeah, it's just he'll be Edward Scissorhands forever now, because he's become it. Or I've never seen one of those Jack Sparrow movies because it's just not my cup of tea. I don't really care about Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever, Caribbean, however you choose to see fit. What do you say, Caribbean or Caribbean?
I would say Caribbean, but then I moved to America and I started saying Caribbean because I used to say aluminium and then I started saying aluminum.
Right. Well, to be fair, you spell it differently as well.
Do we spell it differently?
Yes, you spell it aluminium.
And you guys spell it aluminum?
Aluminum. Yeah.
Ah, I didn't know that.
So it's fair.
I
mean, I think it sounds better when you say aluminium.
Aluminium. Yeah, that's because Apple guy says aluminium.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, it's beautiful and it's crafted from pure die-cut aluminium.
What was this? What's his name again, that dude?
Did
he leave Apple?
I saw him. He came into the restaurant I was working in, and I almost had a heart attack. What the fuck is wrong with me? He's Johnny Ive.
Johnny Ive.
Yeah,
he was the real genius, right? Yeah. Behind the designs.
It's made of glass and aluminium.
Can you imagine what he thinks of the fucking Vision Pro now? He's probably looking at it going, that is not my vision of the future.
Yeah. It's shite and stupid and way too expensive. Actually, he might have had his hand in it, because while he is no longer the design director for Apple, he owns a company called Tangerine, and Apple hires out Tangerine for design. So he might have been involved in it.
Okay.
He just didn't, with no Steve, no, he didn't want to be there with Tim Cook because he's a bean counter, that guy.
It's so fucking first generation, that fucking Apple thing, that Vision Pro.
Yeah. So, Mark, you guys are crazy. And, somebody said the science of sleep, and it was Colm said it. Fucking, you guys are all amazing. And Shane McGee, sorry, I don't want to miss the super chats. Hey, Carolyn Martin is matching everybody's super chats.
Yeah, only read the super chats. Forget the rest.
Please try me movie. It's fantastic, Jim Carrey. Thanks. Yeah, she's matching all the super chats tonight.
Okay, so, Shane McGurk, I'll read this because he has been heavy on the super chat, so he deserves it. Who remembers The Thing?
Oh, John Carpenter. Fuck yeah.
one of my favorite films.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I saw the Thing Part 2, and I was skeptical, and then I started enjoying it once I realized what they were doing in that film. It's
Aha.
very cool. They do a
Very, very
very
cool.
interesting thing in that film, and you're like, you only realize it like an hour in. You're like, I see what I'm seeing now. It's I don't want to give too much away, but it's
No,
it's
don't give
not
it
as
away.
good as the original, but it's definitely cool to watch.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna make a coffee. You talk to the kids, right?
Okay.
Keep them, you know.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys.
Hey, you guys, I'm going to make a coffee. Super chat the living fuck out of him, will you?
super chat me. Shane McGurk 249. Please try my movie. It's fantastic. Jim Carrey. Please try my movie. Yeah, what a weird night for the old streams. Apple is still cool. Would you say that? Araya? Wow. Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, they definitely do cool shit. Expensive though. That thing is way too expensive. I have the Meta Quest 3. It's it's a lot of fun. I don't use it as much as I should, but sometimes I get in bed and I stick it on my head and I watch a movie on a huge screen. It's kind of cool. It's like you're in a big cinema or something. It's really interesting. They're off having a chat. Listen to the two of them in the background. By the way, wristwatch check. I'm doing the gold bluesy tonight. Nice. Still love this watch. It's a classic. 1:30. Fuck. Need to make more food. Who's still in the room? Are you guys having a drink and a smoke on a Friday night or what? So Ian. Wizard Sir Ian. That's a great scene. I am pretending to be a wizard. Raya has Meta Ray-Ban glasses, but never use them. Yeah, they're still working on that. But you can buy those Ray-Bans now, and they'll record video, which is pretty scary because it just looks like a pair of Ray-Bans, and you could be recording whatever you want, which is kind of scary shit. Man, this is my first smokes I'm having in 2 weeks. My first cigar in 2 weeks earlier on tonight in my own stream. Actually feels pretty good. Yeah, where's Frollo Baggins watch review? I have my Frollo watches here. There's the Vermilion. And there's the blue. And there's the Tiffany, which is very popular for some reason. People love the Tiffany. It's nice. Good solid beater for the summer. Durable watch. Can't go wrong. Jeff just finished a Redbreast 12. I'm jealous. I'd love some Redbreast right now. I'd love some of that. Oh, man. There's no website with specs yet, Chelsea. Sorry. You'll have to just go on my info for the moment. I'm letting all you guys know about this before it, there's a proper thing set up so you can get ahead. You can just PayPal me and I'll send it to you. I'll send a postcard from Venice, handwritten, hand designed. Who makes the Frollo? On. There's a manufacturer just outside of Venice. They actually make Venezianico watches as well. You know those guys, Venezianico, who are kind of trying to be Venice watches, even though they're way outside Venice. They name their watches after Venice landmarks, and I don't see the connection honestly myself, but yeah, it's the same place that puts them together. And yeah, they build them, which is cool. But you're not talking higher roller. You're not talking like handmade, Swiss made, God knows what. It's $500, $600. It's not to be scrutinized too heavily. It's just a fun beater with a real Venice connection. At least that. Good strong watches. I'm going to be wearing mine to the beach all summer on the rubber. I won't have a care in the world, because as far as I'm concerned, you beat the hell out of this thing. Here it comes. For a sec. All the noise. I muted you. Okay, you're back.
Oh, because we were talking about Laverne.
Okay.
Oh, you could hear us talking?
Just in the background. Andrew, $5. Oisin, any plans for another live stream walk around Venice? Yes, I'll do one soon. Holy shit, man.
So you're talking watches. It's funny because I didn't know how long you were going to take. So today I'll do this on Sunday. I was going to do, let me show you what I was going to do for the first half hour, because usually you come in a half hour.
Yeah.
Not that I'll do this now, but I'll do it on Sunday.
No, you can do it now.
No.
No.
We only have 20 minutes left.
Okay,
and that's great. I'll do this on Sunday. I wanted to, because I'm always talking about Speedmasters. I thought people might be interested in where the calibers came from, not just the 321, but the actual original Lamania movement. That it's the 2310 that it came from. And it's a beautiful movement, and then it's interesting because you get to see it in a Vacheron Constantin and in a Patek Philippe. Isn't that great? People don't realize where that these are all, decorated, and
I love the look of that movement.
It's one of the most beautiful movements in the world. It really, really is. It's gorgeous. It'll be fun.
So much happening.
It's very complicated looking. Not complicated in complications, but complicated enough. You should do another walk around. I'm gonna. We were talking about me doing a walk around in New York. I was thinking about doing like the highlights of New York for any of you guys who have never been here. I could just do I could go to the Statue of Liberty, all the New Yorky shit. I could meet some people on the street, ask them I thought maybe, what are you wearing on the street? I'll just go up to random dudes and just say, hey man, what are you wearing? If you got an Apple Watch, I'm not going to ask you. I just realized I changed glasses and they're weird looking. I have so many glasses. Do you have glasses all over your apartment?
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, me too. These are the ones I want, because these are for the iPad. Because it's too close,
Yeah.
I have it in bed at night. Now I'm just into the audiobooks. I gotta say, I'm rereading the Tom Jones book now, but I'm not reading it. I'm re-listening to it, and Jonathan Pryce narrates it, which is cool, because I didn't realize that Jonathan Pryce was Welsh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
See, sorry, Welsh people. What do you call Welsh people? Welsh, just Welsh, right?
Yeah, Welsh. Wallace 9, the Frollo watch, yes, is 44 millimeters across. The big watch, 51 and 14. I'll stick it on the wrist so you guys see how it looks, because they're asking me about the Frollo. Getting a lot of orders in already.
That's great. It's a hit.
Yeah, it's coming out great. Yeah. Again, it's just a solid beater with a real Venice connection. They're the main things about it, It's priced accordingly,
I think it's a good price for that kind of depth, resistance, and you've got a Salida movement in there, right?
Yeah, so we were talking about, so there's two movements. There's either a Salida SW200 or the NH35,
Oh,
which is the Seiko movement, which is also a great, solid workhorse. That's got a little bit more power reserve, actually 41, 42 hours. And we were talking about like slimming, like making a slimmer one and a 41, like a more sizable for people with slightly smaller wrists, but it's not going to have the 300-meter water resistance.
right.
It'll be 100 or 150 or something. If you want the
Okay.
300-meter, you got to go with the big boy.
And what determines that? The amount of seals and or
Yeah, it's the
gaskets?
seals of the size of the case, how enclosed the whole thing is, how resistant. 100 meters is more than enough for most people. Things get stupid when it's 30 meters. When it's 30 or 50 meters, it's like, eh. But 100 meters, you're fine. You can jump in the pool, you can do some swimming and stuff. 300, then you can start playing with this thing, go down into the water with it. So that's what I like this one. Because this, I mean, I'll bring this out to Lido. I'll get in the water. I'll bang the shit out of it, and I won't care. I'll just be
Right.
like,
And it's a tank. Nothing's
it's
gonna
a
happen,
tank.
right?
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
It's rock solid. Also, Simone reminded me of something the other day as well. The decision to put the crown at 4 is because the gondolieri, when they do the voga, when the vogare is the rowing.
Yeah. The Volga
So
boatmen.
I'll maximize myself so people see. So when you row, you do different kinds of actions. When you do volgare with the original Venetian, you push forward like this all the time, and their arm is always bent. A lot of these guys that own Rolex and stuff, they take it off or they put it on their right arm because it annoys them when the crown digs in when they do their action, with the oar. So that's why the crown is at 4, so it doesn't dig in.
Very smart move.
Yeah.
Dean with the super sticker. Let's give you a real one since we haven't done it in quite a while. Let's give you the super. Thank you, Dean, very much. You deserve it. It's been a while because all the super chat. Sorry, Carolyn. The super chat seems to she's price matching tonight. She's trying. She's raising money for the channel because she's a believer. She's the den mother of the watch channels and the bastards. You bastards. You. You bastard. Yeah, that's what they've decided they want to be called, not the bashies or the bashers. They want to be bastards. You bastard. You have to say it like Sean Connery. You bastard. He was definitely the best James Bond, even though Daniel Craig's pretty great, but he was the best. He was the best indeed. He was. So what are you doing with your weekend? Just editing videos?
Editing, man. I'm going to try and get this Ireland video done for Paddy's Day.
Great.
And that would be perfect to release it on Paddy's Day. Give people something Irish to watch. And that's what I'm focused on at the moment, 100%. I have no other focus. Because I was hoping to get that thing out, at least the first part at Christmas. Do you remember? Now we're fucking
Well, it's a lot of footage.
Yeah.
When were you there? In October?
I was there in September, October.
Yeah. Well.
Then I got back and it was like get back into the flow, and then I made a couple of previews and had to pick things back up on the channel. So there was a lot of like recovery time, and then of course Christmas and blah blah blah. So it kind of got, I've been focused on it, but it's just,
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Carolyn Martin, who's got a wrench because she's admin of this.
Oh, she is?
Well, yeah, you gave it to her because I have no power. I have no power. $9.99. Guys, super chat. I'm marching, so your gift is doubled. We've asked Dirk to work Sundays dark. I could be dark if you want to work Sundays. So let's pay to watch OBJ. What does that mean? that. Thank you to all who have taken up the challenge. Yeah, she's this is a pledge drive. This is Carolyn Marston's pledge drive because I'm doing it 6 days a week. Well, actually, yeah, 6 days a week. 6 days a week. Yeah. So let's give her, because she has been giving like there's no tomorrow, let's give her the mega. Carolyn Martin with the super mega chat because you're a legend, lady. Rufus with the $1.99. You're going to get the bell because I have the bell. Somebody said you should raffle off the bell. No, I'm going to keep the bell. Nam Yoho Denge Kill Carolyn. Cheers. Somebody had said earlier that they affectionately call Welsh people taffies. I had never heard that term before. Had you?
No, taffies, no.
Right. And Andrew contributes a lot of money to every show. He says Bastard will look great on a black t-shirt. I think we should do it. You bastard. You bastard. I think that's what we should do. We should do a bastard t-shirt. I bastards. I bashers. I'm a bastard. Which is very, very cool. And the mug thing too. Everybody wants a mug. I used that mug from that production company that I did some stuff for, and he sent me two, and one of them cracked. And I really like these mugs. And I'm not a muggy kind of guy. I like my little espresso cups, my little Nespresso jobbies. But in the morning,
so I nearly have my wallets ready.
You
and
do,
and you want to see what's going to be on the leather on the wallet.
Go. Oh, that's amazing. Really?
That's the leather on the wallet.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Come on.
We made a stamp.
Like a brand.
Yeah, it's a stamp. It's not laser etched. It's an actual stamp that goes into the leather.
Like they do with cattle, right?
Right.
To know what ranch they're from.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Because a stamp looks better than I could have done a laser, but it's not as deep. It doesn't look as good. So the wallets are going to be available very soon.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool? Andrew, $5 Canadian. Everyone upvote, share with others, and subscribe to show some love. Be kind, but have fun and enjoy the company. Well, that's what this is all about, man. Thank you. You are a shining star. He shows up every night. Every single time I get to start the stream, he's there with the super chat to start the night off, even if he's not part of the chat because he has to work late very often. So, Andrew, thank you so much for being the spectacular. And he's got a great cleft. Look at that picture. I wish I had a great
big cleft.
I would love one of those things. They're cool.
Yeah, I don't have one either.
Yeah, I have a little line in there, but not much. A cleft is it's very Cary Grant, isn't it? Archibald Leash. Oisin's watermark. It is your watermark. It's very cool.
He spelled my name perfectly.
Yeah, he got it right. Yeah, he got it right. I mean, people aren't up on there.
It's okay. I appreciate the effort.
Tough. People still call you Oisin?
Oh, they call me all sorts of shit.
Oisin. Who's your friend that lives in Italy? Oisin?
Oisin.
I was running errands for Rose earlier. I was down at the chemist's, the drugstore, the Dwayne Reed, and I ran into that bass player, Drew. Remember him from the neighborhood?
Drew.
Big Daddy Project. He's Italian. He lives in Rome half the year, and he lives here.
I know.
And he goes to me, hey, your friends, you know those Mr. North guys, they still around? I said, no. I said, Oisin lives on the Grand Canal, man. He said, what? I'm like, yeah, he lives in Venice. He's like, I did not know that.
And Emmett's in LA.
Yeah, I said he's in LA. Yeah. JBB with $10. I'm going to upgrade the graphics for all this. I'm going to give you YouTube at 10. Right. The Girl Scout, $6 for a box of Thin Mints. Do you like a Girl Scout cookie, Oisin?
What is that? What is a girl? I mean, I know what it is.
Amazing. Isn't that amazing?
What's it supposed to taste like?
So you know what the Girl Scouts are, right?
Yeah, they sell them on the street, right? They
They're
sell
they're they're an after school thing where you earn
Yeah.
badges and stuff, but they also have a bakery called the Little Brownie Bake Shop. So they've been making cookies for eons, and they
Oh,
have many different flavors of cookies.
okay.
Their thin mints are their chocolate covered thin mint chocolate cookie is very popular. I
Yes.
like Dozy Does. I like the peanut butter crunchy cookies,
Okay.
but they have gotten very expensive in the last couple of years. Used to like say Lydia was 8 years old and she was a Girl Scout. She'd go around the neighborhood and she'd say, "Oh, Daddy, I sold 6 boxes to Miss Reginelli and 10 boxes to the Russos and blah." Because everyone gets like 5 to 10 boxes. You don't order 1 box, you order like 10 boxes
I
because
see.
they earn prizes. The Girl Scouts
Right.
get like badges and it helps them. It's amazing, but they're good cookies. I enjoy them a lot.
Nice.
Chelina, $2. You get the you have a great heart. She's got an amazing heart. She's an amazing heart.
Carolyn? Oh my God, yeah.
She's incredible. Oh, Carolyn, what are you doing? She's doing this. I'll PayPal balance to Dirk after the stream ends. That is a big giant.
She's doubling.
And the earth did
That's the best one.
That is the best one because the whole screen goes crazy.
Yeah,
8 minutes left, and everybody's going to town, matching up, helping Carolyn Martin match up with the super chats.
Nice.
Thank you so much for that. I'm still on the Diet Coke. It's terrible. I'm just too stressed out. Fuck it.
At least you're not drinking booze, man.
I haven't had a drink in a very, very long time. I can't. I feel like I need to be. I drank way too much coffee, though. When I see my recycling bag and how many of those Nespresso capsules are in there, I should be arrested. I mean, like somebody should come with a white coat and wrap me up and send me away because it's real. It's a bag about 2 feet high and it's about this thick and it's just completely packed with those.
How many coffees do you drink a day?
6, 7, 8.
Oof.
Maybe. In the morning, I make. It's a lungo, but it's not a lungo. I'd make ristrettos, but I make like 3 of them.
Wow.
So I stretch them out by just. I need a very strong coffee to kick me arse in the morning. I need a big bow pow.
Wow.
And then I have 1 or 2. I always make doubles. I like double espressos, cafe doppios. I make those. And then in the afternoon, and then I always have 1 at the end of the night with dinner. So I'd say about on average 6. Yeah, probably.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Your heart must be going like crazy.
I haven't been to a doctor in ages. They're going to tell me I'm riddled with cancer or like, wait a second, that shit's not working. What are you talking about? I don't like going to doctors. I used to be a hypochondriac. I used to go to doctors. Well, I actually got thrown out of a doctor's office. He said, I can't see you anymore.
Why?
Because I was like Woody Allen. I used to have.
Oh, you're too much.
Yeah, I had hypochondria. I'm completely over it. I've cured myself of it.
Wow.
But I used to think I have, and I'd read about all these crazy diseases, and I'd say I think I have thrombocytopenia, and he'd be like, "What? What would make you think you had that?" I'm like, "Well," and then he finally got rid of me. But that was in my 20s, and then I was done. I got kicked in. It was a really nice doctor's office on Central Park West in the Century. Was it the Century? No, it was in the San Remo. It was in one of those beautiful buildings. And it was a beautiful office. And it was a great doctor, but he told me to fuck off.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's right. Selena says, is Laverne okay? I don't know. She's got a little bit of a fever. She's on fluids now because, we don't know what happened to her, why that shit happened to her 2 weeks ago. So she's been doing very, very well, behaving well, eating well, moving well. But she looked a little stiff this morning and last night. And then I took her to the doctor to get some fluids because we know she's going to be on fluid therapy for a while. And she had a fever. So I got very nervous about her having fever. And then I wound up buying a very, very expensive fucking thermometer.
Oh, shit.
Because it's like a kid's thermometer that's got this thing and you stick it in.
Oh, sure.
And I went to stick it in her ear, and she's like, "What are you doing? You don't do those things to me. That's what the mean people do." My sister with $20. What are you doing, Carrie? Come on, you lunatic. Guess what you get? Here's to Bastards and to Laverne. Everybody, any of your super chats in the last 5 minutes will get the mega super chat because we appreciate it. Andrew, you are the king of the world. You know what you get? He says, I was talking to a very pretty lady at work, and suddenly I realized why her green eyes looked so familiar. I told her about Oisin's videos of Venice and that her eyes look like the canals on a sunny day. Wow. He writes short stories and he sends them to me, and they're really, really great. Very descriptive. You have a real knack there, my friends. And I'm trying to encourage our dear Andrew to publish, because it's really good. Because listen, I read like a maniac. I read every single day of my life, a couple of books a week, and I hate everything. And you know what? I certainly don't like fiction, but I like how your stories are based on actual experiences, which I think is very cool. Keep it up, man. Creativity makes the world go round. It's very important. You know, Carolyn says at Selena Laverne had to go to she had to go to the bed. Well, actually, I was supposed to have a girl come over and do what they do is you have like a IV bag, and it's like 30 cc's, and it goes in your neck, and it's just fluids. But I can't stick a needle in that. I cannot do that, and I'm not going to. Dean says, Dirk, you would definitely like cocaine. Duh. But stick to the Diet Coke. It's cheaper. I always said and I love blow jokes. I love cocaine jokes because I think I know a lot of people who've done a lot of cocaine, but I think cocaine humor is really, really super funny. You're like, what do you mean? You never did cocaine before? Heart start up again. That's
Jesus.
from what is the Vegas movies? The Hangover Part 2. Yeah. That's what he says in the movie. It's unbelievable. So look, have you been smoking this whole time and I didn't notice?
I had my first smoke in 2 weeks on my own thing. I had a Davidoff, a Robusto, Nicaragua.
And you feel okay smoking after your throat? Your throat
Yeah,
issues?
I'm fine now. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Honestly, it feels great. I'm like, fuck it, it's great.
If you look at any of these old 1950s commercials, they'd like have 4 out of 5 doctors recommend Chesterfield. And you'd be like, Chesterfield, tea for taste, tea for throat. My patients always ask me, what's the most soothing cigarette? And I always say, Lucky Strike.
Damn it. Am I crazy?
Tea for taste, tea for throat. And then I like Virginia Slims. Why don't they make a cigarette just for women? Now they do. It elongates your fingers. It's called a Super 100 or a Super 120. They made those really long cigarettes to look like cigarette holders, so it looks super elegant on a lady.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I don't know if they make those the long ones. I don't know if they make them anymore. I once knew a guy who used to smoke Parliament 120s, and I used to be like, you're such a lady. He goes, what do you mean? I said, 100s are for girls. And he said, no, they're not. I went, yeah, they are. They're for girls. They always were. So we got a minute left in the chat, guys. I'll like probably see you.
Valvi 789. It's toasted.
Yeah, that's from Mad Men. We love that. Lucky Strike. It's toasted. That was the campaign. And then, of course, the guy from Lucky Strike hit on Sal, and Sal didn't sleep with him. So Don fired him. Don wanted him to take one for the team.
Oh, wow. I don't remember that.
Oh, you don't remember that? Remember Sal, the gay
I remember.
artist? Well, the guy hit on him while they were doing the editing, and he went and he confided to Don, and he was married.
Don said, why didn't you do it?
Because Don had already seen him when they were on a road trip. He saw that he was there was a fire in the hotel, and he was evacuating, and he saw Sal and some dude like in their skivvies and shit. So he knew what Sal was up to. So he was like, and you said no? And he fired him.
Oh, shit.
Don. Don was a bad guy. He really was. He was a bad guy. We loved him, but he was a bad guy. He was a bad guy. Terrible. Anyway, let me get through the super chats. There's actually almost 40 of them.
Wow.
And I want to get to every single one. And I'm not caffeinated out of my mind like I usually am because I stayed off that chocolate. But Daniel Gutierrez with $2, Angela Minikillo with 10 Canadian, Nick Sisto with $10, Carolyn Martin with $19.99, Shane McGee with $11.99, Daniel Gutierrez with 2, Dean with $4.99, Steve with 20, Ali with 100, Scott with $4.99, Daniel with 5, Mark Shaw with 2, Dean with $5, Carolyn Martin $4.99, Mark Shaw 20, Rufus $1.99, Shane McGee $5.99, Dean $4.99, Mark Shaw $20, Shane McGee $2.49, Andrew, you got $5, Mark Shaw again with $2, Andrew Volkovich $10, Andrew Volkovich $5, Scotty Lord H $9.99, Angelo Minikillo Canadian $10, Hippie _PA with one of the most interesting questions of the night, $10, Shane McGee with $5.99, Shane McGee with $2.49. Did we get that one? Please try my movie. We did. Andrew Volkovich Canadian $5, Dean with the super sticker, Carolyn Martin with $9.99, Rufus with $1.99, Andrew with $5, JBB with 10, Selena $2, Carolyn Martin with $50, my sister Carrie Kennedy with $20, you lunatic, Andrew Wolkowitz 10 Canadian US dollars. Thank you all so much. You're all crazy and we love you. It's Friday
ABB
night,
says 2,000 subscribers. Did you go back up again?
Oh, Jays, thanks everybody.
Let me see.
It was so.
Oh yeah, you're back up to 2K again.
Fuck! What the hell happened to the? That was the guy that didn't want to be on the gay float. I know it goes up.
I lose so
I get up, I can't go down. I get the bastards go round and round. Remember that song? Steve Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Full of desire, get higher. What's the name of that song? Abracadabra. It's terrible.
I'm gonna
reach out and grab it. It's terrible.
So bad.
It's so bad. So bad.
I want to reach out and grab you. They had some meeting in some fucking office in the record company going, yeah, let's release that single. Jesus.
I mean, that's a terrible song. It's almost as bad as We Built the City, which is the worst song ever written in the history of the world.
Jefferson Starship.
Yeah, it's just Starship. Yeah. Shane McGee says we're all gay. Yeah. No, actually, most people aren't. Everybody's fluid. So anyway, thanks everybody. Thanks to Sheen for a great show. Thanks for coming in early. I will save the Lamania base. Oh, Andrew, you coming in there with a $2. I'm going to do it. $2. Congratulations. Yay, 2K. We finally hit 2K again. We had 2K, then we lost 2K. I don't know. Disgruntled people. I don't know. People didn't like my I was doing my Truman Capote impersonation the other day, and it was really just totally creeping people out. I just love Babe. She's my favorite. Did anybody watch that? It was great. The new feud. It was excellent. Star-studded cast, amazing beauties. Diane Lane, Callista Flockhart, Demi Moore, and so many more. All about Capote's East Side, Upper East Side, spoiled entitled witches that used everybody, and terrible. It was great. It was really good and well worth watching. And what's his face's ex-wife, you mentioned the other day. I saw them in front of I don't remember. What's the name of the guy in the Showtime show? He was a hitman.
In what?
He's Israeli and American. He's an actor. He grew up in a commune. This is why it's the end of the show, because I can't remember shit.
Because I can't remember anything.
Ray Donovan. What's his name?
Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber's ex-wife is the star of the show, and her name is
the Aussie. Yeah. We remember. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So thanks everybody for coming on in and sharing our Friday night big show. I'll be back with you on Sunday at 3:00 because that seems to be the one that works for absolutely everybody. So thank you so much. And if you need to, what was that?
It's my radiator.
Oh, that was very cool. If you want to send your pictures so I can feature you, your watches, your pets, your favorite yo-yos, anything that makes and strikes your fancy, send it to basharddirk@gmail.com. I will feature it on Sunday show. I do have a bunch of emails, but as you know, on Friday, we really don't get to it because it's really the Oisin and Dirk show, and we just listen to what you have to say, blah, 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 blah. So I will feature that then. So until then, thanks so much for joining us. Remember to say please and thank you. Remember to hold the door open. And whatever you do, just don't be a dick. Unless, of course, the person you're dealing with is a total.